backstage excitement is building at this most American of contests, a pageant. But tonight is no ordinary event.
Is that what you'll be wearing under your dress tonight?
No, but it's in my heart and spirit.
The contestants are all serving or former members of the US military, and they've each raised thousands of dollars for a special cause.
I'm a veteran, and I hate to see female veterans being on the street and not being able to be helped.
It's been a good time. All right, I'm gonna go get my photo taken.
Alrighty.
The very existence of homelessness amongst female veterans is a largely unreported and uncomfortable issue in America. It's estimated there are up to 55,000 homeless female veterans across the country. This event's organiser, Jasper Booth, was once one of them.
And it was a huge slap in the face. Because in return for the service I rendered to my country, I was offered poverty in return. However, if I was a male veteran, the possibilities were endless. There were all types of programs and, training and housing that was available if you were a male veteran, and programs that treated you with dignity and respect.
Hi, come on in, please.
A few years on, and Jasper has managed to create this.
This is the living room of the Alexandria home.
She started a foundation called Final Salute, which now runs 3 transitional houses for homeless female veterans and their children. It's a start, but Jasper is still frustrated by the lack of services for women.
Enough is not being done, and I personally don't think you can do enough for a person who has raised their right hand and said, hey, I will die for anyone in the world, not just Americans.
The past decade has seen a number of foreign conflicts with female soldiers in the front lines. As a result, more and more are suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD.
In Iraq, I was actually on suicidal watch. I had a recruiting dream of I'm on tower guard duty and we're getting mortars just thrown at us left and right. And I off myself and that's it.
Tracy Orona deployed to Iraq during the troop surge of 2007. She left the army at the end of 2008 to return to normal life, but her life didn't return to normal.
I remember coming back from Iraq. I went to Walmart and pretty much freaked out because there's just so many people, so many noises going on, and I literally pretty much had to run out because I couldn't stand it. And didn't go shopping until like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. It was I couldn't unless I was intoxicated, and it was just like okay.
Like many others, Tracy turned to alcohol to numb her anxiety and insomnia, drinking nearly 2 bottles of tequila a day. And after separating from her husband, Tracy found herself homeless, bouncing between friends and relatives.
This soldier right here, he actually tried to commit suicide, and he was also our best friend, so they ended up kicking him out. So it's just kind of sad.
Currently, Tracy is boarding here with her uncle's ex-wife, but that too could prove temporary. Homelessness is an all-too-common consequence of PTSD.
Do you still have trouble with dreams and sleeping?
Yeah, like last night I didn't go to sleep till 2, and I sleep with the monkey. I don't know if you see him behind me. That's what I sleep with. And I like to think of him as like my dream catcher in a way.
The only thing that's gone right for Tracy was meeting another veteran called Joe Leal.
I started to notice that there was some alcohol issues. She was screaming for help. So I was able to get her connected with a service officer to help her with a disability claim, a counselor for drinking, and then I became like her sponsor, and I'm not even an alcoholic.
Yeah, put these in the bottom. Yeah, we'll put those in the bottom.
Joe Leal has founded an organisation called Vet Hunters that helps homeless veterans get off the streets. Today they're taking supplies to a homeless camp under an LA freeway.
Smells right here, so be careful.
Their mantra is to leave everyone better than they found them. And in return, they get plenty of help in finding troubled veterans.
So, any new people here? I see, I recognize.
Joey. I don't think you've met Joey yet. Joey's gone right now, though.
Okay. And the females? And the females over there? Same ones? For the most part, the females that we're running into, they want out. They're like, I can't do this. Not to say because they're females, because they're survivors, but they're usually getting, for example, Sandra, the one we got off underneath the bridge. She goes, Joe, I can't be here. All these guys either try to rape me, they try to assault me. Yeah, this is one of the worst streets right here.
Los Angeles' Skid Row is another place where the vet hunters regularly look for former soldiers in need.
Hey, you, how you doing, brother?
I'm playing lotto, man.
Oh, you out playing lotto? You got that itch?
Yeah, a little bit. I've been trying.
How you doing on socks today? You okay?
Oh, I need a little bit of socks.
A little bit of socks?
Yes.
Here, let me get you a set. Hey, the only thing I'm asking
Yes, sir.
right now is, do you know where the female veterans are at right around here?
Female veterans, maybe like way back that way.
The challenge for the vet hunters is that homeless female veterans tend to hide their problems and avoid the streets and shelters.
They don't want to go to a shelter. People will try to bully them, try to have sex with them. They're dealing with their own issues. They don't want to be around civilians or crowds. They don't want that. They want to be around other females in a female veteran program. They need counseling. A majority of them need like a support element.
It turns out that networking on this Army Reserve base is one of the best ways to find those in need, but it's still difficult.
They're not always going to come out and open up to you. For example, we just had a female soldier that just walked up and she asked us if we could fix her tire. Now, I know that's not related to homelessness, but one thing that took place right in front of you was how hard it was to ask for help with a tire. Imagine them opening up to try to tell you that they have a homeless situation. That's even harder. Yeah, your tires were bad. The two front ones were bad.
When we go to replace Private Maria Avalez's tyres, it turns out that she too is homeless, bouncing between houses and living out of her car.
After I got out of the military, I tried to stay with my mom for like maybe a week. She didn't want me there anymore, so I had to leave from there.
Maria's story is the same one I hear over and over here. An unsupportive family and the wrong skills for a civilian job, leaving her with nowhere to turn. Until Joe swings into action.
And then we know people that, can help you out with that. And then we'll start talking about addressing your homeless issue.
I haven't had anybody help me before like that, so it's kind of emotional. It's a big deal, yeah.
Well, yeah.
Thank you.
But that's why we do what we do. That's why we're out there, raising this money so that if you find yourself where you're not eating or whatever the case is called, I promise you will help.
I got food stamps.
Yeah, but you know what's crazy? As a soldier to be on food stamps, that's so crazy. You serve your country, you're on food stamps. And I don't mean that in a bad way. No, I know it does help. And you know what? I've been there. I'm just saying that I just wish that we didn't have to live like that. So with much love and respect.
Thank you.
Give me a hug, Don't worry about it, man. We got your back. I mean, we're all vets.
The number one reason why female veterans are homeless is because of untreated sexual trauma. Something that helped you from where you were before to
Dr. Lori Katz is a psychologist who's been working with female veterans for over 20 years.
I'm a Vietnam era Air Force veteran. Woo! And Vietnam era. Yeah, so,
Today at the Long Beach Veterans Affairs Hospital, Dr. Katz has brought together a group of women who have all graduated from her 10-week treatment program called Renew.
I felt condemned.
They all suffer from military sexual trauma, or MST, and many had gone for decades without talking about their assaults by fellow soldiers or seeking therapy.
Why did I do that? I was ashamed. Why was I so ashamed? I knew it wasn't my fault. I knew it wasn't my fault. I knew when he beat me. I knew when he shot me in the neck. I knew when he held the gun to my head. I knew when he broke my back.
Some of the unique factors about MST is that it happens in an environment where someone continues to work and reside. The whole environment becomes a fear-inducing environment. They don't know if it's going to happen again, or the friends of the perpetrator might gang up on them to get retaliation if they report it.
And after all of that, he got his friends. They beat the ever-loving out of me and buried me. They thought they'd killed me.
Military sexual trauma is extremely prevalent. Many women, that when they first come, are so shut down that they don't even make eye contact. They have difficulty feeling any feelings, so they're very numb.
I guess I always had to make sure I was working so I didn't have to think anything about what may have happened to me in the military. It was taken from me.
I'm able to move on. I'm getting my motivation back slowly but surely, and my son is going to be able to have a mother. And I'm a year. In 4 days, I'll be a year sober. And so.
Wow, that's great.
And I never thought the day would.
So this is huge. You've released so much, and you are all doing so much better.
You showed me that people out there do care. I didn't think nobody cared. And that's what touched me the most, is that you showed me that I was somebody. That I was somebody. That somebody really cared.
The Ms. Veteran America event is all about showing that some people do care. And while the contestants proudly strut their stuff, the fight for equal recognition as veterans still has a long way to go in America.
They don't equate the service and sacrifice the same as they do to the men. You know, just say you had a homeless male veteran and you're like, oh, you're homeless. America's failed you. You're probably homeless because you went to war, you had PTSD. But when it's a woman, it's like, well, what did she do to get herself in that situation?
Curbing the epidemic of sexual abuse of female soldiers is going to be key to reducing America's flood of homeless female veterans. It's a problem last year's pageant winner, Denise Gordon, knows only too well, and one she's determined to tackle on behalf of thousands of women like her who've been sexually abused while serving their country.
It's an opportunity for us to break down barriers and have courageous conversations on a problem that needs to be fixed.
She has become the symbol. Although she's experienced military sexual trauma, she's not presenting herself as a victim. She's presenting herself as a beautiful woman that have had both good and bad experiences in the military, but also saying, you know, hey, there are some women struggling that America has forgotten about.
And the winner of Miss Veteran America 2013 is Alanya Gutron.
Every female veteran I spoke to for this story was still proud of and deeply committed to the US military. But they know that to break the cycle of abuse and abandonment, they've got a fight on their hands.